Alrighty, howdy ho folks, Multiversal Medium here for another episode of Poison Control. Last time we left off, we cleared out the hell of a bell that was filled to the brim with other selves. This episode, well, gonna go deeper into the 5th circle, reaching the final bits of this overall game. Path to the 5th circle, a passage that leads to a circle of deeper hells. Alright, we know how this goes. We'll take it slow, but the second we get to the boss fight, we gotta burst it down in case it possibly, just possibly, wants to start bugging out like last time. On the way to her, we'll take it slow. Never gonna get over that nice slap bass, yo. Not gonna get over how wonderfully stylized this game is. Anyways, as I was saying, like, last episode about, yeah, go to hell, next level of hell. Yeah, no cutscenes, okay. Even though we are getting a lot of stylized, weirder games or whatever, like we used to during the gaming era I'm most nostalgic for, with all its weird nonsense. Like I was saying last episode, it's coming a bit more at a cost of even these weird games and stuff are getting very corporate in design philosophy and such, it feels like. And it feels weird because a lot of these games should be a lot more pure passion projects. Like, if you explained everything that's going on in this game as a whole, would you think a huge company would be making it, or do you think it would be like more of a smaller studio just kind of doing whatever the heck they're like, yeah, that sounds kind of cool? It's kind of like Double Fine setup. It's like Double Fine as a company is kind of known of just like, hey, I had this weird idea. Oh, that is a weird idea. It's like, you want to turn it into like gameplay and stuff. It's like, I do want to turn it into gameplay and stuff. And that's like their whole MO for everything in their catalog. That being said, I don't know how well Double Fine's doing. Like, what was the most recent Double Fine thing? I think they're doing alright. I mean, I'm pretty certain they're doing alright. I mean, I've got a collector's edition of Psychonauts on my shelf that I've still yet to get into. Backlog, am I right? Yeah, I do have a collector's edition of a game that came out recently that's one of their IPs, so probably fine. It's just... eventually... that desire for numbers go up in a corporate setting seems to start crunching down on various aspects and leads to a dip in quality when it comes to various products. That's kind of a given. A lot of people will cut corners when it comes to anything business-wise if they're able to cut corners anything business-wise. Like, I don't think there's a single corporation that's going to be outright considered your friend at any point in time. Even if you're the CEO of that corporation, the shareholders are going to make sure you're making them money, so it's still not your buddy. Outright. It just seems to... it's upsetting. A lot of these weirder games I'm seeing this generation have a lot of potential to be something, and a lot of the time the potential that's being wasted for it not to truly shine isn't because they're not extrapolating on the idea. The idea and everything's there, it's corners are being cut in other regards that it's like, you can't cut those kind of corners for this kind of weird thing. I feel like this generation has the capacity to have a lot, and I mean a lot, of hidden gems in the video game catalog. Like a metric F ton. Like, heck, I think a majority of the games on my channel are actually just from the Nintendo Switch. And that's partially because of how my recording setup's right now. I'd have to dig out my PS4. As well as, like, get some, like, more retro recording stuff or other things. I need some, I need to basically get some replacement cords for a few consoles. I need some replacement controllers for some stuff. Because all the controllers and stuff I got was, like, secondhand and, like, lot auctions, basically. So it's like I bid on this lot and I got all this stuff as a part of it. And it's like, okay, I guess I don't need, like, controllers for this console right now. And as I'm playing that console more and more, it's like, I understand why they gave up this controller, huh? So yeah, like, there's a good portion of games I want to play that it's like I kind of need to do a bit of maintenance to various setups in various ways to get things into a way that's okay before recording. Okay, let's get you out, girl. There we go. Gosh, look at that damage. Holy. I know that first one hit, like, the weak point or whatever, but 1k damage from, like, one shotgun shot? That's nice. That is very nice. Ooh, got a thought form over there, so that's probably the way forward. With all their Shantae games, and that's all they're well known for now. Way Forward used to do other games well. They weren't just Shantae. I find it... Okay, so Shantae is a good series. It really is. It's a good series, and Way Forward does good side-scrolling platformers. I am never going to deny that. It is good. I don't like limited run games, because limited run games is really cutting corners corporation-wise. And they are trying to keep getting more and more numbers profit-wise with really kind of scummy tactics, amongst other things. I mean, heck, I was playing Moon or whatever on the channel. You guys know that if you've seen it. I played Moon, played Completion. I love that game. I have the collector's edition from Limited Run Games on my shelf. Cool. I do like collector's editions. I really do. The collector's edition of Moon took so long to get here. Limited Run Games was selling, like, regular versions of the game for months just online, as opposed to ever getting the collector's edition ready and going. And quite literally, the pre-orders for both went up at the same time. As opposed to, like, hey, we got all these pre-orders, especially for, like, something like a collector's edition. Let's make more copies of the game and just sell it on Amazon instead. That's what Limited Run Games was doing. And it's effed up. They're quite literally prioritizing new sales for a product that they haven't even gotten the pre-orders versions of the product out to people yet. It's an effed up sales thing to do. And what's more, normalized by people. That's what actually irks me. People just normalize it. Anyways. I like Way Forward's MO and all their games or anything. I don't like limited run games. Way Forward and limited run games have like this... They love interacting with each other. I effing swear. They are constantly working together. And it's usually for another Shantae re-release. And it's like, dude, I get it. It's awesome. Cool. Shantae. Love the game. Cool. Can you not re-release the same game multiple times in such a short period of time with like new merch every single time while demanding like, hey, it's a numbered release for the collector dudes. I don't even go for the numbered releases. I just realize it's really scummy what the heck you're doing. Like, that's really gross marketing wise. Also, like I said earlier, no corporation's really gonna ever be your friend. They're gonna keep pushing for profits and numbers go up. The truest meta is a bunch of corporate bigwigs say, hey, big number go up, I like that, keep doing that. It's never been the DPS chasers in any game. It's always been the corporate bigwigs. Big number go up, yes, good. Anyways, I'm happy that frickin' WayForward's able to keep going. Because WayForward as a company, honestly, most likely should have been eaten by now, to some degree. Like, they aren't super well known enough to have been eaten by a large AAA company. But let's be effing honest. WayForward, besides the really super devoted like fan base, probably should have been eaten by another company by now. And that's not me saying that's good. I'm saying that would be the norm for that company at this point. But with their like working with limited run games to keep getting these games that are well known for being hidden gems out physically, and being able to do collector's editions and merch and so on and so forth through limited run games, I'm certain it's helping them stay afloat. Awesome. I just think limited run games is a really scummy company. I really do. Let me put it this way. I love the fact that they're doing limited versions of games that wouldn't get limited versions in general. I'm a part of their newsletter. I see what the heck's coming out. There's stuff I want to get every once in a while. It's like, oh yeah, awesome. Cool. They take way too long between pre-orders. They really do. And they've only been taking longer and longer between pre-orders as time has gone on. It went from getting a pre-order of a certain edition now within a few months to a year to well over a year. And it's also paired with them doing other scummy marketing stuff. Things like adding various things to your cart that you don't need anytime you go for a purchase, so on and so forth. It's a scummy company. Hey, long time no see, mortal. Random question. You ever seen that Yomi sake bottle they got over at Dontero? Is that broad serious with those prices? Jeez Louise, how greedy can she get? When I was alive, people called me a money grubber, but Miss Oni there puts me to shame. Still, a Yomi sake bottle, eh? You think it might actually be worth the price? Word in the realms that it can suck up evil Onis, or any poor sap who's on a brink of death. In that case, maybe I ought to buy it, especially given what's coming up next. You know what they say though, what's done is done, so what's the sense in rushing things? Not like it matters either way, my life's already down and out. I don't know how I feel about the fact that it's like, hey, so this is getting to the point of no return or whatever, and you might want to kind of decide what the heck you're doing. It's gonna cost money, but that will change what the heck you're doing, you know. Thanks, Explosive, frickin' Clasha. Appreciate it. Yeah, frickin' 1k each with that shotgun. When you hit the weak spot, that's wonderful. But yeah, it's a lot of scummy practices. So it's weirdly like watching a company is like, oh yeah, I actually really like those dudes. I really do. And then you see them collab with like someone you know, it's like, okay, that's not okay. It would be the same if anyone you actually liked just collabed with what? Who are they? Who the heck are they? Are they like the Paul brothers? Is that their name? The horrible scumbags that like went to the suicide forest in Japan and just videotaped it. Those scumbags. It would be like anyone you liked actually collabing with them and being like, oh, come on, man. That's... Don't. How could you? Those dudes are literal, like, scum of the earth level scum, man. That's... Oh, gross. It's just so effing gross. It would be like that. Just, And yeah, I'm not saying, like, Limited Run Games did something so heinous. I'm saying they're not good. It's not a good company. And honestly, I find it absurd. That one's... Okay, so there's 5 of them at this point. Okay, that's interesting. You'd think it'd just be 4. Actually, can we... This is... Clear all this out. Try to get us some distance going real quick. Pull up. Okay, yeah, just go through an entire clip of that. Here we go. Should be 1 down. Should be 2 down. Oh, and that's lag. Oh gosh, we got enemies up. Gosh dang it. Switch this. Try to take them out. The more enemies we leave up, the laggier it's probably gonna get, to be honest. Any but. I find it absurd that we need companies like Limited Run Games outright. Like, don't get me wrong, I love it when it's the smaller indie stuff, or the type of games that usually wouldn't get a physical release in the country, period. Like, if freaking Limited Run Games did a physical version of Garage, Bad Dream Simulator, or whatever, I'd freaking lose my crap. I was never expecting a physical version of Moon in the US. Poisonette keeps her guard up until the Naga disappears completely. What happened last time must have left quite an impression on her. There, all clear. Now off to the next Bell's Hell. Good day. Where'd you guys come from? Don't tell me you were watching just now. Indeed, we were. We had considered lending you our support, but you fought so brilliantly that it was deemed unnecessary. What's with all the praise all of a sudden? You didn't fall for us, did you? Such frivolity is not possible for an entity like myself. Rather, I have come to fully realize that turning our backs on you is not in our favor. I'm starting to feel the heat, huh? My lady, permission to borrow your body? Permission granted. You want to go? On the contrary, I would like to speak to you of my past. Therein you will comprehend the reason I deigned to bow my head to you, of lesser birth. Okay. After a moment spent composing herself, the girl in mourning turns into a pile of bones. Soulmates are a concept we should be well familiar with, but seeing it myself makes for a bizarre view. Poisonette's mouth closes at the sight of White Poisonette's true form, as if in intimidation. Within White Poisonette's cold and filling eyes were the flames of a burning passion. In life, I was but an orphan. The orphanage in which I was raised was only one in name. Cesspool that it was. In time, however, a virtuous and high-minded nobleman and his wife would come to adopt me. I was granted the highest standard of education, as well as the honor of serving as their child's keeper. Till one day, the child and I were beset upon by a rival house, seized through no indiscretion but my own. In the end, I was tortured to death, having done my utmost to preserve my ward's safety to my final breath. The child, I fear, was sold, a victim of human trafficking. That's awful. Come hell or high water, I must rescue my charge, no matter what the cost. My lady looked upon my delusion with compassion and pledged to help me fulfill my wish. I am fully aware of the sin I bear, embroiling my lady in a plight in which she has no bearing. Yet even so, I... Hold on here. That plight was 50 whole years ago. What can you possibly do about it this late in the game? Once again, your ignorance never fails to astound me. A wish fulfilled by the heavenly realm is capable of transcending time itself. Put it simply, each moment my wish goes ungranted is a moment my ward remains in suffering. With that, I ask you once again, will you relinquish your stickers to us? Honestly, you almost talked me into it. I was this close to handing them over, but there's just one thing. These stickers aren't just for me. They're precious to the both of us. So be it. My lady? My lady! White Poisonette reaches to stop the girl in mourning as she suddenly reappears. The girl, having returned to her normal form, begins to take off her socks with a deadpan expression. Whatever are you exposing your feet for? It is customary to toss a white glove down when challenging one to a duel, is it not? I simply don't have one, is all. Even so, that is no reason to cast aside your socks. You frickin' simp. My lady's immaculate skin unveiled for all to see. Yeah, I'm not... Yeah, gross. Just, Now then, worthy rival, Miss Net, let us dispense with the pretenses, shall we? I hereby challenge you to a fair and honorable duel. The prize? Your every golden sticker. How dare you ogle my lady's bare flesh? I shall pluck your eyes from their very sockets. Girl, that's not my fault. Like, why are you angry at me? You got it. Except for whatever Tidy Whitey's there is saying, but... Challenge accepted? We won't lose. No way, no how. Ooh. Feed the target. Okay. Oh, she can't even damage me. Whatever. Let's just... Yeah, this is... Okay. Oh, this works. Well. I mean, that's the point of freaking leveling in games, yo. It's like Sonic, like, game AI. That's always funny. Okay, there we go. A treasure! Mission complete. Poison Purge. Yeah, that was glitchy. Well fought. Look! Like, you're the ones that did this here. So, like, quite literally, we're like, hey, you know, fair competition. You guys do you, we do us. No, we need to fight now. That's on you. That's on you. This whole tragedy was something you brought upon thyself. My lady, forgive me. All I've done is bring you down. No, don't say that. You're a good girl. You are. We won? We won. Poison, with how they are, it'd be hard for us to lose. But at the same time... Worthy rival, Miss Net. The both of you are as earnest and true as can be. I would not consider your skills, individual or combined, to be superior to ours in full. You couldn't damage me. You legit had no means of winning. I'd have to stand in the poison for a long time just for you to win. However, as compliments, two of you balance each other perfectly. Almost as though you were one. The way you fought, there was a certain warmth to it. Little lady. No smile. It's an honor to face against you. Thanks. Now then, Block, about our next course of action. Yes? We shall search for another way to reach the heavenly realm. Our first order of business is to find the point closest to it. Let's say we climb that tower. White Poisonette's eyes crease at the sides as she gazes at her lady, smiling in delight. But not moments later, they spread so wide they could nearly tear. Huh? I understand that you're done purifying hells then? In that case, I have no choice but to ask that you make your exit. Shortly after her sudden arrival, the woman pierces through the girl in mourning's chest. That's through the stomach. With a baffled look etched upon her face, she disintegrates into scattering particles of light. What? A lady? I like how Poisonette's even pointing out. I was like, who the heck are you? We're like in the third act. Where'd you come from? How could you do that? Who even are you? You certain it is I who warrants your attention? Look, the poison runneth over. No, this cannot be happening. My lady, my lady. So yeah, looks like we got another stage of taking down a Poisonette. Well, it is what it is. But I am going to pop a save. Why? Well, why not? Okay. The bell of unwavering guilt. A hell that flowed out of White Poisonette's grief over losing her lady. But first, loadout time. Let's see here. Let's get this nice little upgrade. Yeah, detection range up. Cost 30k each. 30k, 10k, 12k, 40k. Let's see here. Yeah. Probably worth just... It's not really worth it, but... I can just upgrade some of this stuff. Cheaper stuff, why not? I mean, it's not like I need all this money for something else. Something else I should be buying, but I'm not. Why would I do that? It's not like if I bought that, I'd also need money for something else after that, if I remember right, and it would be really helpful if I had a lot of money for all of that. No, that's silly, that's silly. I'm totally misremembering all that. Anyways, yeah, I find it BS that a lot of game companies are moving away from physical media to save costs. Why? Because you don't own digital media. You just don't. You outright, irrevocably, do not own something when you buy it digitally. It can be taken away at any given time. This has been done multiple times to people. And even now, Steam officially has a agreement. Hello, everybody, coming at you from beyond the AM and PM. It's Hagan Radio. Anyways, yeah, Steam now has an agreement/notice. Anytime you purchase anything on their store, it's like, hey, this can be taken away from you at any time. That is what it's like to buy things digitally. That is anything you buy digitally. It's time for another mail segment. 2 of them, in fact. Big shout out to our adoring fans. The first one's from 50 years ago? That's right. And the other one seems to have just been written. I'll read the newer one first. Felicitations! Hagan Radio is my program of choice to tune in to between purifying hells. Forgive my prying, but if I may ask, how many times have you died thus far? Surely you would say never, or perhaps a single time at most. After all, you only do live once. But what of the heart? From the moment I fell into hell, my chest has twinged in an agony. It shouldn't be able to fail. Through the deep-set resentment born within me, my heart spewed death countless times over. Until in time, a heavenly host appeared unto me in the form of a young girl. With a smile, she said, "If your pain truly is so unbearable, then I shall make your wish come true." She had no duty to me, yet in her pity for my delusions, both body and pain were split in two. But then she was erased right before my very eyes. Right before me. Foolish, powerless me, the one who once again couldn't save a single soul. Oh my, the next one's so messy I can't even read it. You're pissed, huh, Midori? Now why ever would I be upset, Kikuri? This particular listener has been tuning into our show for such a long time is all. What could she be thinking? If only there were some way to know. Midori snapped. Okay, another one of those cutscenes you need to have twice. What? Why? Why did it have to go like this? And that woman. I could swear I know her. That I've seen her before. But hell, next level of hell. Ooh, really somber. Different. Oh. Looks like we're just getting to the boss fight? Okay. White Poisonette's memory. We have a request to make of you. Of course, master, mistress. I'm at your beck and call. It's one of Block's memories. You mentioned this before, right? She was an orphan, adopted by a wealthy couple, and then? Now. There's no need to be so bashful. Come out and say hello. Yeah, if you guys didn't see this twist coming, I don't know what to tell you. Hello. That's right. They entrusted her with looking after their child. This must be how they first met. Does that little kid seem kind of familiar to you somehow? Well, we already know when a person's supposed to die and, they're not given due process, they kind of end up here as a lost soul, yeah? We already know that. Alrighty. Let's get this going. It feels weirder with the somber music when she's like even talking on the side. Just feels different, yo. Alright, let's see. Stay over here. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be getting basically any other equips now that I think about it. Unless we do something very specific. If I'm remembering right. That's what I was saying, is like, yeah, it'd probably be good if I actually did save up money, but whatever. Whatever. Fine, it's whatevs. Do that off screen or something. Especially depending on how things play out. Anyways, as I was saying, like, yeah, you don't... It feels weird talking about this topic with this kind of OST. Feels like a... Okay, so I mentioned in, like, Harvestella that they just don't know how to do sound design. They don't. They 100%, like, yeah, the OST isn't bad in Harvestella. They just don't know how to do sound design is all. And it constantly got showcased when, like, we're having this tense moment and it's got the silly, wacky Story of Seasons sound font going. And then it just goes completely blank with the OST for a while. Like, they just don't know how to do sound design in that game. Anyways. So yeah, this feels proper for the circumstance. Yes, it's kind of becoming obvious the end of the game's being rushed a bit. I wouldn't be surprised if the devs wanted to do 7 Circles of Hell as opposed to 5. But they just weren't able to. The fact that we were randomly given a gold sticker out of nowhere and kind of rushed towards the end of the game kind of showcases such. Let's be effing honest. This game started to get rushed. That's why there's bugs. It's upsetting. It's true, though. At least until a dev / the crew working on this go on record saying otherwise, I'm assuming it's true. And I'm used to making an ass out of myself, so that's fine. Anyways, like, yeah, this is good sound design for the circumstance. So it feels weird to talk about what I was talking about earlier. She's crying. So this is where you've been. I should have known as much. Sister! Why do you weep, my lady? Has something troubled you? Well, some kids in town made fun of me for being so tiny. They called my dress weird, too. Is that right? And where do these fecal wastes live? They will answer for disparaging my lady, so perhaps a hired gun might... Sister? There. Everything will be alright. Try those eyes now. Surely it was your dazzling personage that captivated them into speaking despite themselves. Now come, smile for me. You are a noble woman in the making. You mustn't let such trivial matters dismay you so. Let them dub you as haughty or vain as they may. The highborn must view the world with lofty eyes, always. Okay. Hey, maybe I'm just losing it over here, but... That girl Blanc is looking after? Doesn't she remind you of... Nah, that can't be it. There's no way. Yeah, like I said, soul, due process, all that fun stuff. Moving on. Yeah, it just feels weird talking about this. With this freaking actual proper somber soundtrack. But you don't own things digitally. You just outright don't, and it can be taken away at any point. Anyone who connected their... Was it the PS3 or it was the PS4, wasn't it? Anyone who connected their PS4 to the internet after a certain moment and had their version of PT legit removed against their will without any, like, notice or anything, just outright taken away. Know that. You do not own it. And yes, PT was a free quote-unquote demo. But having it scrubbed from people's system without the people's input about whether or not they could be able to keep it is absurdly not okay. Like, it's very much taking away the agency of those around them. So yeah, that's not okay. But that's what it is to have things digitally. So yes, I find it BS that companies don't want to do physical media anymore to save money. And it's paired with like the companies that are like, okay, yeah, I guess we'll do a physical version of it. Aren't willing to do the final product on the physical version of it. Heck, even limited run games is doing this. They're not selling products that have like the final updates, DLC and everything on the product. Rockstar / 2K Studios. I think is it Rockstar or is it 2K? Are they the same? I almost always see them together, I think. Anyways, the people behind the Borderlands series, they have the Borderlands games on the Switch. You can only play the first game physically on the Switch. Even though you have a cartridge and what you bought was Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2, as well as the pre-sequel or whatever. 3 games for like that physical version you bought. The other versions are simply downloaded. They're download codes. They're not on the cartridge, basically. Which means if, say, hey, you deleted the games or whatever off your console, because the Switch only has 32 gigabytes of internal memory, which is effing BS. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Sister? Sister! My lady, are you alright? Of course I am. You're the one who bore the worst of it. No, this is merely what I deserve. It was my folly that led us to this. No, stop it. It isn't true. Look what they've done to your beautiful hair. It shall grow back in time. Look what they've done to your beautiful nails. They, too, shall grow back in time. You done having your little heart-to-heart? Ah! Cease this at once. I told you, you may do whatever you wish with me. Just please, spare her, I beg of you. Simmer down already. We ain't planning on killing her. Wait, we ain't? You sure about that? All the client asks for are the kid's eyes. Can't tell which are the whose if they're dead. As for the brat herself, I think we can get a lot more out of her on the market. I get you. Good call. You hear that, girlie? Thanks to you, the brat here gets to go on the buying block instead. No. No! Worry not, dear sister. I shall be all right. I'm a noble, and a noble does not so easily forfeit her life. I shall save you, I promise. That, above all, is the duty of the upper crust, is it not? No blessed peach. You could say it both ways. It's noblesse oblige, not noblesse peach. You can say it both ways. Well, it really was you. Why? Why didn't you tell her you were the one she's been trying to save all this time? Did Blanc never even notice? Under no circumstance is she to know. That was the vow I locked deep within my heart. So she never could have. Sure of it. No way. When I first reunited with my dear sister, she had lost more than merely her own way of life. Her name, her family's faces, gone. All that remained was her deluded hope of saving me. Seeing that, I was relieved. After all, it was because of my dear sister saved me that I came to be lost in hell. Were she ever to know that, it would most certainly devastate her to no end. Ah. That is the condition for one to end up lost in here, after all. A life saved from its due death causes an error of sorts in the soul. In that event, the soul, along with its entire body, gets thrown right into the wrong world. I see. And... oh. All aside, I have only a single wish, to send my sister to the heavenly realm. I could want for nothing else. That alone is more than enough. With that, worthy rival, I ask you just one thing. Please, save my sister. Of course we will. Oops. Sorry, that just kinda slipped out. Worry not. There is no need to be dismayed. Or this was the very happiest I could have been. She vanished. Wait for us, Blanc. We're coming. Ah, Poisonette. You're part of the Hemskier Church, aren't you? I have come. I gotta try and lighten the mood a bit. Anybody. Because, like, it's a good setup. It legit is a good setup. Like, obviously they had to rush it a bit, but it's a solid setup. If they had a bit more freaking time to properly, like, fully flesh this out, I'd probably be teary-eyed right now. They just had to rush the third act. And it's not their fault. But yeah, not owning the product you buy, basically. And like I was saying with Borderlands or whatever, you could buy the physical cartridge of the Borderlands, like, Handsome Jack trilogy, I think it's called, or something. I don't know. It's something like that. Keep forgetting that explosive has such a short range on it, actually. But you can buy that physically. And if the frickin' servers of the eShop go down at any point, and it's just they're down for good now, guess what? You don't own 2 of the games you bought physically. Period. There's no way to get it if the eShop goes down eventually. Because you didn't have it downloaded at the time. Unless you pirate it. Which, hey, you're not technically pirating it. You own the effing game. But it's a gray area legally, so whatever. So issues like that, when more and more companies are pushing for that to be the norm, is part of the reason why some things need to be preserved digitally. There are some games that are only digital. They will never get a physical version. And they will just be lost if they're not preserved digitally to some degree. Because the companies won't care about saving them. There is lost media for a reason. Because companies don't give an F about saving the media. The second they've gotten the money they can out of it, they will toss it. A lot of companies have done that. Heck, need to get closer with this. Okay. What is it? I don't know if all of them are up, but very recently somebody got a lot of episodes for Portal up on the air on YouTube. Please go watch it. It's a fun, silly show, especially if you love the aesthetic of early video game based shows and early MMOs. It's a lot of fun. It's a show I grew up with. I've loved ever since I occasionally see it. And a majority of it's been lost media. Why? The company G4 that ran the show, produced the show, everything, they got bought after going under, basically. And they just got rid of everything. And I quite literally mean everything. They didn't need it anymore. They were not G4, the company, anymore. And they were just given the go-ahead to destroy everything. It was only just recently, by the time I'm recording this, within like the past month of me recording this, that a lot of episodes were found again and put up online. Which is nice. Please go watch it. It's a lot of fun. I showed it like a single episode of one of the newer ones to my fiance, and she's like, this is so fun. This is silly. This is awesome. Basically what it is, it's a lot of machinima of various MMOs, all centered around a, oh, come on, Switch. Host or whatever, who's claiming to be at a portal hub between all the worlds in which those MMOs are taking place in. They claim to basically be the axle point of multiple worlds. And it's kind of silly. It's got decent jokes and comedy. It plays it pretty well. And just, it's an enjoyable show. It really is. Nope, wanted this one. Oh, well, she's down, whatever. But yeah, finally we're getting some more episodes of it because people are finding it. If that's just a whatever to you, how about this? Monty Python was almost lost media. It wasn't, like, going to be saved. Some of the people who worked on Monty Python had to fight the BBC. I believe it was the BBC. To legit keep copies of earlier runnings / all the runnings of Monty Python. You know, one of the best sketch comedy shows in existence. Something that is still actively quoted. And yes, I know I quote it on my channel. I know I'm biased. But you cannot watch Monty Python in any capacity and say it's bad. Even if you're just watching the frickin', like, cards in between segments or whatever, it's artistic with how well they animated those frickin' in between segments. You cannot claim that show is bad. You can claim you don't like it, but you cannot claim it's not well done. That was almost lost. They had to fight to keep that. And that's what I mean. Corporations do not care. They really, really don't. If it's not making corporations money at the end of the day, numbers aren't going up, why would they? So, when it comes to video games, besides the fact that when you buy something, you should own it, and this goes beyond video games, it should also go into any sort of media / anything you purchase. You should own it. By the way, you buy a book digitally, guess what? You buy movies digitally, guess what? You buy shows. Guess effing what? So, what you should be entitled to as a consumer, you don't have when it's digital media. It's absurd, it's upsetting, it's freaking worthy of getting upset about. And it's something that you should have to fight for. It should be fought for, I should say. And it's paired with some things aren't going to ever be around physically. Those things deserve to be preserved too. Yeah, how much freaking shovelware is on various digital storefronts? There's a lot. There is a lot of games, shovelware media out there that's... It's shovelware. It's stuff that most people would look at and be like, why would anyone want this? That's fair. It's understandable that it's not yours and a majority of people's cup of tea. That doesn't mean it should be tossed away and forgotten about forever. It should be recorded. It should be cataloged. It should be preserved. There's no reason we should be considering it a weird caste level of it's not good enough to be remembered in the annals of, like, whatever history we're writing, when we have the means to preserve the information of all of them. It does nothing against us as a society to preserve all these things, while also giving future generations and people time and the means to experience and look into these things at their leisure. Why would you be against preserving history unless you don't want that history to exist? What is wrong with digital preservation? Especially for products that no longer are viable or able to be purchased. They are no longer products. The second we take away the means for those products to be acknowledged and noticed and known is the second we take away a bit of history. Yeah, those games are arguably shovelware in this way I'm talking about this circumstance. But hey, that shovelware was someone's freaking, like, weeks and hours of work. It is worthy of learning about. It is worthy of looking into. We have the means of preserving it. Companies want to just delete and get rid of things that were people's childhood. They're doing it with, like, more well-known things. There are lost media games out there. The amount of lost media phone games is effing absurd. And I'm not just talking about stuff on your Apple, like, store or whatever. I'm talking about things via the IPs that people care about when it comes to video gaming. There are a lot of lost media Silent Hill games. Why? Because they were on the phone and they were visual novels. But they were on the phone in Japan and they, unless somebody, like, cracks on their freaking phone and finds the fact they still have it downloaded, it's lost. And even then, the extra parts of it are just lost because you'd have to download it at that time to play it. Stuff about things people care about is just lost because companies don't want to save it. As we race towards the vanishing white Poisonette, Poisonette appears in her miniature form. At that moment, an unfamiliar pain shoots through my brain. Why now, of all times? I shake my head and return my gaze to a trembling Poisonette. I saw it. Your past. All of it. It was her. The one who stabbed the little lady. She was the passerby. The reason you ended up in hell to begin with. She was the Good Samaritan who saved you. I collapse to the ground before I can respond to Poisonette's revelation. I reach my hand to the searing pain, my throat tightening as a red stain spreads across my chest. What? You have placed your finger directly upon the crux. Yet, you are not entirely correct. To call me a good Samaritan is nothing short of absurd. You... Good job, well done. Your purification efforts were quite a sight to behold. I don't have a clue what you're yammering on about. Let's stay back, I'm warning you. Hear me, what bitter enmity. Can you not see yet that I'm not your enemy? Broadly speaking, I am an enemy to no one. How do you figure that? You're responsible for all of this, and the little lady too. I had no choice with that one. She was the one who elected to stop her purifications. However, seeing as you consider it some form of wrongdoing, I will offer my apologies in advance. After all, I intend to do just the same to the living being here. I trust you have no objections, Miss Poisonette. Of course I do. This living being is special to me. As your body, I presume? My point exactly. Should the living one here expire, the body will be yours to have.
ずっと欲しかったんだろこの体が
That is what you've longed for this whole time, no? This body?
それなら黙って見ているといいすぐに僕が始末をしてあげる
Ergo, it is in your interest to watch in silence. I will dispose of this mortal for you without delay. The strange force the woman wielded bears down upon me. As I try to get away, my body begins to freeze, from the tip of my toes to the top of my head. What kind of skeeve do you think I am? Poisonette claws her way up the bewildered woman's head, pulling at fistfuls of hair with all her might. Hey, can you hear me? Get out of here, quick!
まったく理解できないな君が本当に足止めになると思うのかい
How utterly incomprehensible. Did you honestly believe that you could stop me? Owie.
しかしこの他者を尊重する気持ちは素晴らしいこれならば間違いなく成功するだろう
Be that as it may, the esteem you hold for this one is quite superb. Success is all but assured now.
あらゆる妄念を組み合わせて作ったせいかどうもうまくいかなくてね
Was it every delusion combined that caused this? I wonder. Nothing else went quite so well, you
こ
see.
れをここまで仕上げてくれて本当にありがとう
Allow me to thank you for providing the finishing touches.
君に心からの謝意を
You have my sincerest gratitude. No, stop. You can't. A tremendous shock ripples throughout my entire body. My senses fade into a surge of pain, as if my flesh itself were being sundered from my body. Yet even through the anguish, a question surfaces in my mind. Allow me to thank you for providing the finishing touches. The finishing touches of what? Poisonette? How? And why? As I lose my body, so too do I lose hold of my thoughts.
まったくおちおち死んでもいられませんわね
Honestly, even you deserve better than to lay down and die. Behold, the greatest treasure of this world, the precious body of my lady. Bow and grovel at your leisure.
あの毒娘を助けたいのでしょ
You wish to save that poisonette, do you not?
私の時間はわずかしか残っておりません急ぎますよ
Whatever time I have left in me is meager. We must make haste. Okay, yeah, but like, my sticker? How do I know if I did a good job if I don't get a sticker, yo? Like, it's what fuels me. Oh, well, let's see if there's another cutscene happening just yet. Once we get kicked back out to the overworld, we'll call it an episode. Oh, let's see here. Different OST. Another stage starts up, we're calling it an episode 2. Not for nothing. Because we're a bit over at this point. Okay. Hey, Midori! Did you hear me? I said we're on the air. Midori's in kind of a snit right now, so... Anyway, a new Bell's Hell has appeared, just to let you know. As for the fan mail, there's too many to parse. We got all sorts of delusions out the wazoo here. It's kind of like... Oh, what was her name again? Black Poisonette? This hell is exactly like hers was. Total pandemonium. Just figure it out. Show's over. All sorts of delusions, hmm? It does seem to coincide with what Hakugen said. Every delusion combined. Falsehoods spouted as though they were dark past to shed. Doubtless, it refers to Poisonette. The emergence of a Bell's Hell indicates her descent into despair. Must make haste and purify. Oh, the appellation of Hakugen catches your interest, you say? That is the name my lady gave her. As you've no doubt surmised, we have quite some history together. You recall Black Poisonette. As mentioned on the air, Hakugen was her soulmate, her human. And here I believed her life lost in battle. What matter of gambit could she be planning? In any case, an affront so heinous as this shall not stand. Let us go. Go to hell, next level of hell. Alrighty, so we're gonna call it an episode. I'm pretty certain next episode's basically the finale. We'll see how it goes. But it should probably be the finale. Hopefully. I have really bad luck when I say that, okay? I have horrible luck when I say that. So, soft finale next episode. If not, we'll see. We'll just have to wait and see. Anyways, it's been fun, guys. I'll talk to y'all later in another episode of Poison Control. But until then, ciao.